Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to How to Build, or How I Build, New WoW currently. Just a starting how to do it, how I do it type video. Let's go ahead and start off with these starting items, which will only appear if you are in Conquest. Maybe Siege, but I think only Conquest. My startings are either Vampiric Shroud, well actually always Vampiric Shroud, and depending on where I'm going, whether it be solo or mid, I either pick up Hand if I'm going solo, or I will pick up Beads if the enemy team is a very crowd control heavy team. That's something that experience will let you know. If not, I just buy a few extra pots. I grab some health pots, some mana pots, and kind of go with it. I might max them out, I might not. It just kind of depends on how I feel. Now, talking about the core items that I like to build, I always go for Shoes of Magi for the cooldown and movement speed and stuff like that. I always go for Rod of Tahuti because it's a pretty big core item. Obviously not built until a little bit later in the game, but that's up for you to judge. Usually I would go Shoes of Magi into Voidstone for the protections and then the penetration, which is always good. I guess I should hover over these. Shoes of the Magi, Voidstone, Ratatouille. And then last, I like to pick up Gem of Isolation because it works very well with her mist ability, her number one. Now then, onto her damage abilities, or kind of my choices of the ones that I pick. If I am doing well, I will tend to pick up, or think about picking up, either Book of Thoth or second close would be Warlock Sash, or maybe not second close, probably the one I would choose over it, but I'm trying different things right now. But Warlock Sash would be the most likely of picks. This will give you a lot of damage later on. If I know I can build the stacks up, if I'm doing well, if we got early kills, stuff like that, I will tend to pick this up at some point fairly early, probably not finishing boots, but going into it instead. Just kind of depends on the feel of the game. Next would be oh wow, this item, which name I'm having trouble pronouncing currently. It's overall a pretty powerful item. Only pick this up if you have a large amount of magical users on your team. For example, if your solo lane is a magic person, you might opt to pick this up to give your entire group better presence. It's 90 magical power, plus it gives you 25% magical lifesteal and some mana. Not a terrible piece. Not the best, but not terrible. And then we have Obsidian Shard if you're going up against a group of people who are using a lot of magical protection. And then you have Polynomicon, kind of a well, I kind of just tend to pick it up because it's not that expensive, and it's got a good amount of magical power. It's got some lifesteal, it's got some mana, and then the ability to auto attack, especially with the fact that you're going to be constantly auto attacking because of your passive. It's a decent pickup, I think. Now, as my core build already involves Voidstone, Stone of Gaia is one that I would only pick up if I'm facing a lot of magic users, 3 or so. It's got a pretty good passive to give you some, or not passive, but it gives you some HP 5 and some MP 5, and then 2% of your maximum health. It's a decent item for keeping you alive. Now, if I'm facing a more melee heavy group and I want to go ahead and pick up some extra cooldown, which I most likely will, Breastplate of Valor is a very good choice. A lot of mana, physical protection, and reduces your cooldowns by 25%, giving you maximum cooldown with the boots. Next we have Magi's Blessing, which will absorb a single hard crowd control or root, which could keep you alive, and then it also makes you immune for 1 second. This is a very good ability, reduces the crowd control of abilities as well, gives you a little bit of protections, but not a whole lot, and some extra health. And then if I'm just kind of getting owned and I want to go ahead and just get a good amount of protections, I go ahead and pick up Hide of the Urchin. This usually means that you need to have ganks on your lane, or you need to be rotating from mid, which, if you're doing well, isn't that bad. Or even if you're behind, you might have your tower push and you might be able to just go ahead and roam a little bit. while just kind of maintaining the lane as best you can. I find it to be a fairly good item. Next we can talk about a couple of actives and then we will be done. Weakening Curse is very good to pick up if you're going up against a lot of healers. So if you're playing against like Chalks, Vamanas, along with maybe Hell, Chang'e, you know, just groups who have lots of healing. You know, ADCs tend to build Devo gloves now, so this would be really good against that. Now, if you're facing those also, though, Enfeebling Curse might be a bit better because it reduces their auto attack speed. But you know, I'll leave that for you to figure out what you think is better. Combat Blink, always a good choice for getting you out of tough situations. Use sparingly. Make sure that if you use it, you know you're going to need to use it. And Purification Beads, as we said earlier. If you're facing high CC groups, you're probably going to want to go ahead and get it. And that's it. That's all this thing is about. We're talking about that, and that is it. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to know about abilities and whatnot, you can tune in to my other videos. Anyways, have a good day, guys.